greatest era. For the first time ever, with no fucking money, with no goddamn connections, this can put you on the map. If you're good enough, if you are good enough to be up here, to make bling bling, if you are good enough, nobody's stopping you.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Ryan Magin here, back with another influential breakdown video. And today we're going to be talking about social media legend, icon, boss, whatever you want to call him, Gary Vaynerchuk, aka Gary V. And he is a powerhouse on social media with 3.1 million followers on Instagram, 1.7 on YouTube, and like 1.3 on Twitter. Maybe I messed it up, but point is, he has a lot of influence, and he has a lot of guys like yourself and girls following him for many different reasons. All right, now with all these influential breakdowns, I like to use what I call the 3 P's of power, and the first P being persona, which is Gary V's overall style. What is he showing you? How does he dress? How does he look that makes you guys like him and kind of follow him? Now, Gary knows his demographic really well. If I had to make a guess, I can't obviously see his demographics, but I'm assuming he's targeting Gen Xers very heavily, which is they grew up with a cell phone, they're younger, they are more adapt to technology, so that is who he's targeting. So he has a very young look. He wears a lot of beanies, he wears a lot of hoodies, he relates to a lot of the hip-hop culture and rappers. These things make you as a viewer kind of draw into him, which makes him cool to that demographic. And one of the biggest things that Gary V actually does is his love for sneakers. He's a sneakerhead. In fact, he actually invested into K-Swiss, which is another reason he's cool, is he's bringing back retro type of sneakers. So he has kind of brought this sneaker culture with this hip hop culture, with this young look, into something that you guys relate to. Now, the next P of power is actually platform, which is how is Gary delivering his content to you? What is he using and how is he showing up? Now, Gary is a very unique one because he is fucking everywhere. He has a massive team. He's on YouTube, he's on Twitter, he's on Instagram, he's on Snapchat, he's on Musically. He goes everywhere, which is one of his strengths because you can't not find him. Now, for most people, that's going to be very impossible to do unless you have a giant team like Gary to do that. But I believe Gary V's strengths are actually his original. He started on Twitter. I think that's still his #1 platform as well as for influence. But I think recently, obviously, Instagram, he has 3.1 million followers there. I believe that is probably his biggest.
What platform are you attacking the most?
Instagram is huge for me, man.
But I think his weakest is actually YouTube, because he has his team basically create everything, and he creates this illusion that he's always so busy, which makes you like him even more because he always looks like he's important and he's always doing something. All right, and the last P of power is actually the third P, which is presence. And this is what Gary V is doing to hardcore influence you into following him. Things that he's repeating, messages he shares, and just things that generally bring you as a viewer closer to him to like him, relate to him, and continually want to follow him. Now, one of the things that Gary does, which is unlike anything I've ever seen, is he uses what it's called future telling, as he actually kind of convinces you that he's predicting the future. He's done this many times, and he also reminds you about this when he's doing it.
It's so crazy to watch you guys spur up from all the theses that I wrote 7-8 years ago. It's so crazy.
I know. I read Crush It like recently, and I was like, holy shit, he predicted the future.
Previously, right now, he has done that to tell the popularity of Instagram and Instagram stories and Snapchat, but right now he's actually using it on you because he's predicting the boom of audio, and this may change, but what this does is it creates an illusion that Gary is basically this wizard, and he's super smart, and he predicts the future.
Twitter has a fire hose problem. Twitter has gotten noisy. Twitter is noisy as hell. Twitter's struggling. People don't understand it. It's losing attention.
All right, another thing Gary does very well is always kind of says it like it is. He has a very no BS, he cusses a lot, he's very rated R.
Do we have that? We probably have that video because we filmed that day, right? Or no? I wasn't vlogging yet. Fuck.
Younger generation that he's targeting, they relate to that because he's not trying to be stuffy, he's not trying to be uptight. He's basically saying, fuck it, I'm like this, you do this, do that, etc. And it works for him because of how no BS, and it makes him seem more relatable and likable and trustworthy. Another thing Gary does repeatedly is he always tells you about his immigrant upbringing. His dad coming over from Belarus and starting a company from scratch, and him taking his wine business from like 1 million to 5 million or whatever the number is, doesn't really matter. But he always reminds you that he is doing it, which constantly makes you trust him, makes you take his advice seriously, which makes him seem more important.
I was born in the Soviet Union, a shit place. The worst place on earth to be born in 1975 was where I was born. We didn't have shit. I immigrated to the US, we had nothing, I was poor, I didn't speak English.
Another thing that Gary does really, really well is he associates himself with current rappers, celebrities, sports stars, musicians, people that you see right now, because of his massive following, he's able to align himself with all of these different people. And another thing that Gary does, which most people don't even realize, is his overwhelmingly enthusiastic love for the New York Jets.
That are following my journey hear me talking about buying the New York Jets, and I do aspire to buy a $3 billion sports franchise. I do.
It shows that he relates to sports. Everybody relates to sports. Everybody has a favorite team. He's bringing people in closer because of things, which makes you trust him and like him even more. All right, now one thing before I wrap this up, I always want to talk about the certain person, as in this video is Gary Vee, his message. Now, if you don't have a message in your marketing and in your building an influence and building a following, it's going to take you a lot longer. A core message brings people into you. They make you want to rally with you and for or against people. It creates this us versus them mentality. But Gary Vee has a couple, and I've narrowed it down to one. Mainly is just hustle. Work your face off. And I really like this message.
I put in the work. I gave up all my weekends and holidays in high school. I punted every leisure activity in my life. Nothing. No weekends. No vacations. Zero. I didn't take a single vacation day. Never.
Gary manages a lot of people's expectations very well, because he tells you, don't quit your 8-to-5 job. Work from 7 p.m. until 3 a.m. Don't expect things to happen fast. Don't expect things to happen overnight. And with an age where a lot of people are marketing to the Gen Xers and the younger demographics and younger generation that this is easy, getting riches on the internet, building followings. Everybody wants to be a big YouTuber, a big Instagrammer. This shit takes time. It's not easy. And Gary does a good job at managing those expectations. While some of it may seem unhealthy if you've been doing it a while, you don't always want to work your face to the bone, but it's a strong message, and it brings a lot of people in. When Gary separates himself, as in a lot of people are preaching easy riches, Gary goes completely against that and tells you the truth, which I can rally around. I think it's awesome that he tells you the truth in everything he does. All right, I hope you guys enjoy this video, influential breakdown of Gary Vee. And before I let you go, I wanted to hook you guys up, as in I just released a brand new audiobook. It's called The 27 New Laws of Style. If you're interested in building a following, one of the easiest ways to make yourself stand out, especially with Instagram and pictures and video, is your overall style and your persona and your presence, all the clothes you're putting on. And I put together 27 laws that you should follow that will make you stand out, be polarizing. And you can check that out by clicking the link below this video. It's only $4.99. Like I said, I hope you enjoy this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know who you want me to break down in the future. Peace.